All right, so now I've kindly got things working. I've got Portswigger in the Burp browser logged into an account, and I have Burp running. So what you do is you go to Academy, and then All Labs. These are great labs, and they all require no installation of anything on your local machine other than a browser and Burp. And but they're not in a logical order. They start with SQL injection, which is not the easiest topic. So you have to search to find the easy topics. And I made a list on the page for this class of the order in which I recommend doing them. So we're going to start with directory traversal. So I search for directory traversal down here. All right. So let me show you how these labs work, and I think you're going to love them. My students do. So you have a lab here. I always open it in a new tab because I want to be able to come back to this page later. Now I have a lab. Here's a description of the lab. And before I bother reading it, I want to start launching the lab because that's kind of slow. Launching the lab is launching your own server. It's a container, I assume. It's launching a server just for you to use, and it takes a while. So if it's too slow, you just have to refresh it. It's launching your own private server to hack on their infrastructure, which will show you a sort of shopping page to hack into. So every student gets their own, and often the answers are even randomized, so one student couldn't copy the answer from another student. So it's cool. And then it tells you what you're doing, and it has a solution here that tells you exactly what to do. So all you have to do is follow the instructions, and you're learning how to hack into websites and therefore how they're insecure. So the point here is, when this page loaded, it's got this shopping page, and it tells you it's got a path traversal vulnerability and a display of product images. Now, you could use intercept, but intercept is pretty annoying to use. I prefer to use repeater instead of intercept. Now they tell me it's the display of product images that has the weakness. So if I go to Burp right now and go to history, I'll see all these requests of all the things I've done, and it's hard to find the interesting stuff in all this junk. So what I like to do is clear all the old stuff. Right-click, clear history, and yes, and then carefully do a request that won't get anything other than what I need. All I want to see is an image, so I'm going to right-click an image and open image in new tab. That's going to load an image. Now I go back to Burp. Now I should see a request that loaded that image here, but I won't because by default those are considered uninteresting by Burp. See up here, filter, hiding CSS image and general binary content. You have to click up here and check images to see the images, and then apply. And now here's the request that loaded the image. Get image file name equals 7.jpg. And this is a very common web application flaw. It loaded the image and the file name is a parameter, and you can modify that file name to point to something you really shouldn't be able to see. Now, you can't modify anything here because this is history. This is just recording what happened in the past. If you want to modify it, you right-click it and send it to the repeater. Now the repeater tab shows you the same request. I don't need this, so I'm going to close it. And you can send it, and you'll get a response over here. And the response is the image, which is all this binary stuff. But I want to request something else. I can just change this and send it again. Now I look at the instructions, and they tell me here, modify the file name to be .. etc password, like this. This is the etc password file. It's just a file that long ago contained passwords on Linux systems, and it doesn't anymore. All it has is usernames and other but it's a file that shows that you can traverse the system and get to a place where you really shouldn't be. This is a file that should not be public. And so I'm telling my web server to go fetch it from that other directory. And if this works, I will see the Linux password file, and that's what it looks like. I am seeing a file which is not intended to be public. That's the defect here. And so if I go back here, it should tell me I won. So that's what I mean. This is how easy it is to do these. And if you go back here, now this one is solved. So that's one example where you use dot dot slash to move up. And there are other ones here. This one here is a small variation. Let me show you this one. In this one here, I'm going to access the lab. What you do, this one here has blocked dot dot slash. And so let's try that and see. The lab is launching. Okay, so again it's in the image display. So again I clear all the old stuff in proxy history. Clear all the old stuff. And then I load just an image in the browser. Right click, open image. Yes, this is one of the more common flaws, absolutely. So here's the image request. So I send that to the repeater. What's this garbage? I must have hit something by accident. Right click, I say there. Send to repeater, okay. And in repeater, I'm going to try putting in what we had from before, which was dot dot slash etch password. And when I run it, it tells me bad request, no such file. So the dot dot slash is not working. In this case, it's because it's stripped out, but you can use an absolute path, which just starts with a slash. And it doesn't prohibit that. And now you get the file and you win. So that's a very simple case. And there's a third one in the same family that I might as well just show you while we're at it, which is traversal sequences stripped non-recursively. This is another mistake people make. If you don't want people using dot dot slash to move up out of the folder where you're in, you can try to remove dot dot slash with a pattern match. But if you don't do it right, you don't solve the problem. So let's go back to burp and clear out the old traffic in proxy history. Right click, clear history, and yes. Then go to the website and load an image. All right. And here's the image load in burp, which I send to the repeater. And if I put in this path, dot dot slash etch password, and send it, then it's a bad request, no such file. But what the developer did was they removed dot dot slash. So what you have to do is put in dot dot slash slash. And now, when they remove dot dot slash, what's left over is dot dot slash. So all I need is 4 dots and 2 slashes for each of these. And since they only made one pass of stripping out the forbidden characters, they didn't notice if the end result was you still had the forbidden characters. And that will do it. Now I get the file, now I win. So there's some to get started with, and you can keep going. There's a lot of these. I'm going to stop this recording.